The Clippers overcame a 26-point deficit in the third quarter to beat Cleveland. The win was number 50 for the Clippers, their first 50-win season since 2017. Paul George scored 23 of his 39 points in the fourth quarter to spark the comeback. Congrats to South Carolina women's basketball coach Dawn Staley. South Carolina beat Iowa to win the NCAA National Championship and cap an undefeated season at 38-0. Third national title for Staley at South Carolina. Tiger Woods is planning to play in the Masters this week. Barring any physical setbacks, the 48-year-old Woods will tee off in the first round on Thursday. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the fastest growing talk radio station in Southern California, home to 50,000 watts and an audience reach of 12 million listeners. KBLA Talk 1580 is a pioneer for Black audio content, including our groundbreaking $2 million climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm Aviterus, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for Black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the Black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@KBLA1580.com. That's advertising@KBLA1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got you Black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley.
And I'm Compton Mayor Emma Sharif.
You have no doubt been hearing promos and expert conversations on our various weekday shows and downloading details at KBLA1580.com about our climate justice campaign, which is now in full effect.
The city of Compton is pleased to partner with KBLA Talk 1580 to celebrate Earth Day 2024 as we serve, share, and help our city shine.
And KBLA Talk 1580 is just as excited to join the city of Compton as we broadcast live and bring our KBLA delegation with us to help clean and beautify our community, and you are invited to join us.
Come meet us on Saturday, April the 20th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in Compton as we fan out to clean up our city.
The first 50 KBLA listeners to hit our website at KBLA1580.com will receive a free KBLA tee when you join us on Saturday morning, April 20th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in Compton. Now, no show, no shirt, but sign up at KBLA1580.com right now to help us clean up Compton as part of Earth Day 2024.
We will see you on Saturday, April the 20th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in the city of Compton to do our part for Earth Day 2024.
We are KBLA Talk 1580, caring about the climate, caring about the community, cleaning up Compton.
us in our self-care and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
And it is my honor and my pleasure to start our week off with a sound healer. She is an astrologer, numerologist, a yoga instructor, a meditation teacher, and a sound bath specialist. Saharah Ali, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Monday, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with faith, truth, wisdom, and power. Our call to action this week is to be on purpose, honoring our faith, stepping boldly into our week as we witness the celestial influence of an Arries new moon solar eclipse today, making this week a time to release stagnant energy by uploading something new, honoring self-love. We still have Mercury retrograde until the 25th with a wobble for 7 days after moving direct. So, like, we have a Mercury retrograde, then it wobbles. So still don't sign contracts and all this other stuff, and don't go buy a new car, okay? And so remember, retrograde planets initiate cleansing and healing of unresolved issues around the heart. On top of the solar eclipse, it's time to not black down. It's time to embrace transformation and boldly allow the Most High to bless our life, trusting the process of divine wisdom unfolding our highest good. So the solar eclipse is a process of correcting our course of action towards wholeness, happiness, and peace of mind. And know all decisions made during a solar eclipse will have a lasting impact on our lives for the next 6 months. And actually, the solar eclipse is an energy from 19 years ago, and this particular dynamic today is going to have like 6 months to a year effect on our life. So now is the time to consciously stand in our power, hold the truth of our values, release stagnant relationships of all kinds, and know we benefit by having hard conversations to gain clarity, supporting transparency and change. And so therefore our Mindful Monday meditation focus is to anchor ourselves in truth. Anchor ourselves in truth and open ourselves to faith and initiate self-love and to stand in the call of action of celebrating the wholeness of who we are and trusting the process of divine wisdom unfolding our highest goods, also aiding freedom. So going forward with our Mindful Monday meditation, let's willingly, unapologetically, I can't talk, I just woke up, unapologetically reframe where we're standing to center and ground ourselves in this moment. So now just take a breath. Take a breath and be here now. And allow yourself to open yourself to this celestial influence that is changing a lot of dynamics in our life. And so just exhale. Exhale and release and be here now and letting go. Now inhale and check in with yourself. Check in with how you're feeling. Check in with opening yourself to change right now. Exhale, opening your heart and mind to transformation and engaging in the wisdom of your wholeness. Now inhale and be one with your breath. Be one with the power of clarity. Relax, let go, and exhale and just sit for a moment, grounding yourself, centering yourself. Exhaling, letting go. Call on your angels to grace you with forgiveness, to grace all of us with forgiveness. Now take a breath. Hold this breath and think about making closure with fragmented relationships. As you exhale, think about all the things no longer working for you, not supporting your highest good, and just release all of that. Just exhale and let go. And now inhale, mindfully embrace an alignment with your highest good. breathing in alignment with your highest good, accepting a new reality. And now exhale. Make a promise to fill your cup first. Fill your cup with happiness. Fill your cup with joy. Relax and let go. And now inhale. Acknowledge your willingness to embrace miracles. As this eclipse brings clarity in your shadow, think about the miracles that you would like to unfold in your life with grace. Now exhale, releasing and letting go and integrating truth of all things, manifesting peace and abundance. Just relax, let go, just breathe, center yourself, ground yourself, and just bring in all that we've claimed so far, manifesting peace and abundance. And now inhale, let's honor our Mindful Monday affirmation. Taking the biggest breath you've had all morning, hold in that breath. Holding that breath, open yourself to listen to your heart, to open your mind and your heart as you exhale. Opening your mind and heart to love and compassion, to self-love. And now just relax, listen, and breathe to our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Today, I perceive all things with love, celebrating my power, opening my heart to receive change and blessings under grace and ease. Relax, bring that in. Today, I perceive all things with love, celebrating my power, opening my heart to receive change and blessings under grace and ease. Sit with that. Are you open? Are you willing to change your heart, to change your mind, to celebrate love, and to stand in your power? Thank you, Dominique, Tyva Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic, mindful, blessed week, celebrating your blessings with grace and opening yourself to infinite possibilities. Today, I perceive all things with love, celebrating my power, opening my heart to receive change and blessings under grace and ease.
Okay, Saharah, you know I got to ask you, since it's actually Eclipse Day, an eclipse is an interesting phenomena in that this is one of the times when astrology and astronomy are both fascinated with the same event. That doesn't always happen that way. Astronomy being more, the actual science of the stars and whatnot, and astrology being the impact of the stars and the movement of stars and planets on human events and behavior and our world. But they seem to converge. There was an interesting article over the weekend in the LA Times about how some scientists are hoping that this eclipse will help bring world peace, because when people see the sun shut down, apparently over the years throughout history, they've been awestruck in a way that puts things in perspective. And they're talking about, bringing together the different factions, the MAGA or America First with the Democrats, or maybe, the Middle East, where Israel's decided to take a rest. They haven't done a ceasefire. They decided they're going to take a rest and refuel. That is coming from the astronomers, the scientists, and what do the astrologers say about that idea?
Well, this celestial event of eclipses, and especially now we have a solar eclipse, and takes place with the sun in Aries and the moon. It's a new moon. The sun and the moon are in Aries, but there's an opposite axis, which is Libra. So Libra brings diplomacy. It brings balance. It brings clarity. It's about humankind. It's a cardinal sign where it says, let's rethink how we are engaging in compassion. Let's rethink about how we're using our power. And so the sun in Aries is like, let's shoot them up, I'm the best, I'm the only one. But with this eclipse and the axis that it's on affecting other celestial dynamics, what is called the North and South Node, this dynamic, it happens. This one is like a 19-year process. It's taken us 19 years to get here. The eclipses, they go in cycles. So all the eclipses are now taking place in the cardinal signs. So you have Aries and Libra. You have Capricorn. And so this whole thing is about community. It's about the people. It's about how we are willing to reframe where we're standing in our illusion of power. And that is the process of the eclipse. The eclipse is the sun and the earth and the moon. And what it's saying, like, let's rethink our arrogance, which is the sun. Let's go into our hearts and reframe the compassion we have for humankind, because the moon is humankind. It is the people. It is our emotions. It is our consciousness as far as understanding our humanness. And so with this eclipse, and you can see it's the collective. It's you have science and celestial influences coming together, because there is a power in that, and there's a historical proof of change that happens with eclipse. And so this eclipse, we won't have it again at this magnitude until 2044, because this is a complete eclipse, which takes, several years to unfold. But in this alignment, it is very rare. And so this rarity brings a shift on Earth, because as above, so below, and the magnetic connection to our nervous system, to our minds, our bodies, our spirits, and to the elements on Earth is calling forward an energy shift to allow us to reframe how we stand in our power and how we stand as a collective, and what is the effect on our thoughts and our choices. So I think it's a blessing that everybody's reframing, and let's engage in some silence and reframe how we are going to move forward and think about the people, because that's the other part. The moon is the masses. It is the people, for the people. And so this is a great time for all of us to get into prayer, to go into that world behind our eyes and call forth this divine power that exists in all of us, and celebrate this divine moment of this eclipse to bring about a change within ourselves, the change in our community, the change on this planet, which is very, very necessary.
Saharah Ali, thank you so much for that on this Solar Eclipse Monday. It's always great to start our week with you anyway.
Thank you.
If you want to find out about her sound baths and all the various things, yoga classes, if you want to get a reading, I would go to SaharahAli.com for the basic information, SaharahAli.com. If you want to make an appointment, you can call Elise, her assistant, at 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783 if you want life coaching, you want a reading, etc., etc. We're going to be doing mini readings this week. It's this week, right, Saharah? I think so. Yes, it's on Wednesday in the final hour. So you can get a sneak preview, or you can make an appointment now. But yay, that'll be fun, Saharah. You'll come hang out with me on Wednesday, and we'll shed some light on people tings. Right now, though, it's the perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. We are unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting and waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
I feel occasional burning and stabbing in my hands as I age.
I sometimes feel numbness and tingling in my feet as I get older.
It's starting to get in the way of doing what I love.
At Nervive, we hear you, and we can help. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use.
Now that I know, I'm taking control.
Try Nervive Nerve Relief and say yes to healthy nerves.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
The solar eclipse is happening today, this morning, and a lot of people are planning to go outside and watch it. Definitely wear the glasses. You can permanently damage your eyes staring directly at the sun. They are special glasses. Any old normal sunglasses will not do. You can literally burn your retina. They're handing them out at libraries. Most of the LA County libraries and various cities across the country, they have the libraries handing out solar eclipse glasses, right? You can get those. They're also handing them out at Griffith Park in LA. In some places throughout the country, they're having eclipse watch parties, like there's one at Caltech today. If you're out there by Pasadena, you can stop by. They'll give you eclipse glasses and probably some scientific information to go along with it. This is when the moon gets in between the sun and the earth. And so it covers up, it blocks the light of the sun. And because the moon is so much closer to us than the sun, the moon can actually block out the light of the much larger body, which is the sun. It only lasts for a few minutes. It's not going to completely cover it. That's what they mean by the totality. You have to be in a certain part of the United States. It's actually a really narrow strip of the U.S. to see the so-called totality, which is where it goes completely dark. Will be partially blocked. You'll be able to see that in California unless it's too cloudy. If it's too overcast, we won't be able to see it. But I'm in here, so I don't know. It didn't look too overcast when I was driving to work. The temperature can drop too, obviously, as the moon is blocking out the sun. And, just be careful with it. The other thing I learned is that you can also ruin your phone if you point it directly at the solar eclipse. You can actually put those solar eclipse glasses over your phone's lens, like, I don't know, move it around to where it's covering the lens, and it will actually protect your phone from getting ruined. Or the other thing you can do is don't point directly at the eclipse. Take a picture of the horizon that happens to include that sun, but you're not pointing it at it. You're taking a picture of a building or something nearby. That's what your camera's focused on. It just happens to catch the eclipse. Otherwise, you can ruin your eyes and your phone trying to be, an eclipse appreciator, I guess. Jeanette from Inglewood, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Thanks for calling.
You're welcome. So this morning at the 6 o'clock hour, the person was speaking, and he was speaking on some of the things that I was thinking about last week. And when I mean some of the things, you'll understand when I say it. So what I was thinking about was our ancestors and all the things that they did for us. They took the beatings for us so that we don't have to say massa anymore, and we are, some of us have made enough money where they are now called the boss. So I was thanking the ancestors for that. And then, we don't have to look down when we talk to them anymore. We can look, white people in the eyes without getting killed. And we can even tell them, as I sometimes do, call me Miss Jeanette, and I call that my black privilege. And finally, I was thinking about all that they went through to vote, and now we are the ones that do the deciding vote for the people to come become president. And now everybody knows that. And that's why number 45 is trying so hard to get the black vote. And he will say almost anything to get it, but he really won't do anything after he got it. So with the person that was speaking this morning,
Reg Taylor.
He didn't really, thank you, Reggie Taylor. He really didn't convince me of why he was even thinking a little bit about voting that way or not voting at all. So that's all I wanted to say.
Well, yeah, we'll have Reg Taylor. We'll have him come back, and we'll get into it a little deeper. It was a conversation of, somewhat getting to know him. I'd never talked to him before, even though he was a cousin of a dear friend and an activist, and the fascinating story of how he was able to get up out of that wheelchair. But to your point, we didn't go as deep into why he says that there's energy in certain quarters that is leaning Trump, that is leaning America first. And I've heard that from other folks that have been justice involved. I've heard it from a lot of black men. I wonder how much of it is very online and how much of it is IRL in real life. But I don't want to be that girl that ignores it. I just knew Trump would never win the presidency in 2016. And I'm not about to get caught sleeping. Not again. Jeanette, it's always great to talk to you. Time for news, traffic, and sports. Stay with me if you like, and we'll keep the conversation going on KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. It is sentencing day for actor Jonathan Majors in New York City. The African-American actor was found guilty of assaulting and harassing his ex-girlfriend. He faces up to a year behind bars, but probation is possible. A judge recently rejected Majors' request to toss the charges. The former Marvel star was dropped from an upcoming film after that conviction. Officials are warning people about possible traffic issues around the upcoming solar eclipse. The Federal Highway Administration estimates that up to 5 million people will be traveling to see the event. Officials say that's likely because there are 8 major cities within a 3-hour drive from the path of totality. In order to avoid congestion, they recommend travelers leave earlier for their trips. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers lost at home to Minnesota. They played without LeBron. He was at home with the flu. The Lakers also played without Anthony Davis after the first quarter. AD suffered an eye injury. 30 points for Rui Hachimura in the loss. The Clippers overcame a 26-point deficit in the third quarter to beat Cleveland. The win was number 50 for the Clippers, their first 50-win season since 2017. Paul George scored 23 of his 39 points in the fourth quarter to spark the comeback. Congrats to South Carolina women's basketball coach Dawn Staley. South Carolina beat Iowa to win the NCAA National Championship and cap an undefeated season at 38-0. Third national title for Staley at South Carolina. Tiger Woods is planning to play in the Masters this week. Barring any physical setbacks, the 48-year-old Woods will tee off in the first round on Thursday. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up.
Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Imagine with me here for a minute the most beautiful panoramic setting. Maybe it's an endless ocean, waves crashing on a beach, or a crystal clear mountain lake, peaceful and quiet. Or maybe it's just little kids playing in the park down the street. Wherever your imagination takes you, now imagine right smack in the middle of this perfect picture, a piece of litter. Just one piece right there in the middle of it all. Doesn't exactly fit, does it? In fact, even though it's just one piece, now it's all you can see. That one piece ruins everything. And that's the thing about litter. It doesn't take much to ruin everything. One thing's for sure, it simply does not belong anywhere in California. So here's the good news. If we work together, we will change it. We don't have to let litter, even just one piece, ruin your perfect picture. Not anymore, not ever again. Clean California, zero litter is the goal. Brought to you by Caltrans and CleanCA.com.
Don't shave with that, son. You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops. I'm good with Gillette Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard anyway? You know Mama hates it.
Yeah, had it since my last wet shave in 77. Got ingrown so bad, looked like I was growing a patch of new noses.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturize, so I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure they'll get you your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
Switch to Jackson Hewitt and we'll beat what you paid last year, even if you filed online. Ain't nothing to it. Switch to Jackson Hewitt and pay less for tax prep, guaranteed. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
And so Donald Trump is proving now that he is more interested in becoming president again, for no other reason than staying out of jail, than he is in going further with the anti-choice movement, the anti-women's right to choose movement. He said that today that abortion rights should be left to the states, and that is a change because he has previously been doing the Trump word salad tap dance, which is one of his best moves because he can just kind of blather on with these words that don't even make sense and one thought doesn't connect to the other and dance around a topic. Now he's come out with a very clear stance. He says, quote, "My view is now that we have abortion where everyone wanted it from a legal standpoint. The states will determine by vote or legislation, or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state." He posted that video on Truth Social. Sounded like someone else wrote the copy for him because it was rather focused. He said many states will be different. Many will have different number of weeks. Some will have more conservative than others. And this is a bit of a pivot or a waffle or flip-flop, whatever you want to call it, because before he had said he was in support or could be in support of a 15-week national federal ban with possible exceptions for incest and rape, or if the mom's life is in danger. He's still walking line because he says in the video, he says he's proudly responsible for the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, but he takes credit for taking the issue out of federal hands. It is a smart move on his part, because there's a lot of Republican women who can now justify voting for him by saying, well, he wants to leave it in states' hands. Hopefully they're not dumb enough to just go for the okie doke, but they very well could be. He's given people wiggle room. He's given them plausible deniability. He's getting slammed by some anti-abortion groups for not going far enough, but I don't see that impacting him in a negative way at all on the campaign trail, because the bottom line is those groups have to be forever grateful for him for taking away a constitutional right that women had previously enjoyed for 50 years, right? And that always will put him forever more in their good graces, no matter how much stuff they talk right now. I think it's given cover for conservative women to pivot back to Trump. And I also think it's a lie. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Aside from the fact that most of the time when his lips are moving, he's not telling the truth. There's another aspect here, which is that he will say that and he will do that. But then when these conservative groups take it a step further, which they are pressing very hard to do right now as we speak, he will sanction them. Once he's reelected, all bets are off. You know, he is a liar to begin with, a prevaricator, documentedly so. That's not my opinion. Just Google Washington Post, Trump lies, and they actually document. They go lie for lie, day for day over the period of his presidency, and it's a lot of lies, and on average 8 a day, verifiably untrue things during his presidency. So he can say that, and he'll stand on that position until until 2025. That's what the plan says, right? 2025. Project 2025 is the blueprint for what Republicans will do once Trump is elected. It's very stark. It's very scary. You don't have to speculate. You don't have to give in to hyperbole or unwarranted fears. There are warranted fears, and they're available for your perusal online any day at project2025.org. So, even looking at the way that the Supreme Court is moving right now around health care, Trump can say, oh, well, I said I was against a ban, but he appointed those folks and they going to do what they going to do. They're sort of indicating that they might allow the abortion pill, the medication, which is how most women terminate pregnancies now, that they might allow it to stand. They heard arguments. The challenge is that the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, should not have approved it ever for use for terminating pregnancies, that they never should have approved it because they weren't authorized to do so and/or it's dangerous. This is a slippery slope. If they were to make that ruling, it would mean that any political party, any interest group, special interest group, or religious organization could challenge a medication anytime. Now think about this. There are groups like Seventh-day Adventists that don't even believe in using medication at all. There are people like RFK who want to control whether or not you can get your kids a vaccination. Not just saying you shouldn't have to take one if you don't want, but going a step further and trying to outlaw them, which could, bring back measles, polio, all kinds of things. Any nut job or person with a political agenda or a religious adherent could challenge medication and say, well, this shouldn't have been approved because X, Y, and Z. And if they just happen to get a Trump nut job judge, that judge, as was the case with the morning after pill, the pregnancy termination medication, they court shopped to find a court where it's one lone Trumpian judge. They take it there and boom. Now, it looks like the Supreme Court is not going to go this route. They could. We don't know. There's no leaked briefings this time. We don't know what they're going to do. I don't think they will, because I think the pharmaceutical billionaires are probably in their ears. And the billionaires are the puppeteers of the Supreme Court at this point. I don't think they will, but if they did, it would effectively create complete chaos in regulating drugs in this country. Complete and total chaos. Anyone open season on any drug they have beef with for any reason. But that's not the only way, right? As you look at Project 2025, one of the things they talk about is eliminating or curtailing federal agencies. And you think about that, okay, it doesn't sound that bad. But let's think about what that means. Eliminating the Department of Education. Who is that mostly going to impact? Not billionaires whose children are in super expensive private schools, your kids and mine. Enforcing anti-discrimination and other kinds of equal protections in the education system. Food and Drug Administration. Oh, put any old dye, any old cancer-causing carcinogenic substance, bring it on into the food, the pesticides on your foods. Taking away the regulatory powers means more pollution, like what we've seen in Watts with those children, at Jordan High having their health endangered by corporate polluters, day in, day out. It is not just bureaucracy. It is the human health and safety of the citizens of this country. And so whether it be knocking them down through this, anti-abortion, anti-choice movement, or whether it be knocking them down by defanging, downsizing, defunding, or eliminating regulatory agencies, it leads to the same problematic conclusion, which is that people who ain't doctors, people who are not experts, people who are very clearly unqualified to do so, are making medical decisions for you and your family. 800-920-1580. Love to hear your thoughts on this or anything else that crosses your mind this morning. Got you up. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
It's a celebration of a living legend.
It's the Farewell Tour.
It's Maze featuring Frankie Beverly.
Thank you for the love, Tito.
Also featuring the soul icon, Anthony Hamilton. Plus, After 7. It's a Mother's Day celebration, May 12th in the Kia Forum.
In commemoration, come in your all white.
Get tickets at Ticketmaster. Presented by the Black Promoters Collective.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, the way to get back to me, if you have a thing to say, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. And we're going to Morris from Inglewood. Good morning, Morris.
Inglewood! Hey, you're talking about Project 25. You're talking about people need to know something about Project 25. It's going to be mass deportations. Mass deportations. Your dreamers, remember the dreamers? They're gone. They'll never become. Whatever they can to get them out of here. That's what's going to be taking place. And,
I don't think so, Morris. I don't. You know why I don't think so? I know Trump is saying that, and it's their rhetoric, and it's actually appealing to a lot of black people for reasons that I understand but don't agree with. But I think it's rhetoric, because even Trump uses undocumented workers, has used for little or no money to clean his golf courses and his clubs, and probably still has them working for him. I mean, not to mention he married a migrant, but I think it's not just him, by the way. Corporate America and those billionaire puppeteers, they use that migrant labor. They're using it in the slaughterhouses. They're using children to work overnight. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to say they're going to do it because they think it'll make people vote for them, but I don't think they're really going to do it. Just like Trump backed down off of that legislation when Joe Biden was like, okay, well, how about if we give you what you want? No, he said no, because he wants to be able to run on immigration and a chaotic border, and he thinks that's a Biden weakness.
Did you know that the SEIU is unionized in Maralago?
I did not.
Yeah, they kind of get a union.
Wonder
down
how
in
that's
Mar-a-Lago.
going. That's going for them.
And another thing, the reason why I called you, were talking about this Project 25, how they want to eliminate the Department of Education. I'm down here in front of the Inglewood Unified School District office. I'm protesting today because there is an attack on public education, and people need to recognize that public education is a vehicle that all working people, particularly the working poor, if you want a shot at something, you got to be educated. And that vehicle, because we don't have a whole lot of money, is public education. But they don't invest in it like they did when I was a kid and used to wear an afro. They're trying to kneecap it. But I appreciate you. I appreciate the discussion this morning because Project 25 is some serious stuff, Dominique. Handle your business. Talk to you later.
Well, no, I mean, Morris, if you disagree, you're more than welcome to say, you know, that you disagree. Maybe you're right. Maybe they will do mass deportations. I just don't see it. I think it's just propaganda to get votes.
Really do make too much sense because the reason why those folks are billionaires is because they're exploiting labor, and the best labor to exploit is, you know, the ones that we're talking about deporting. So I give some thought to what you're saying, and you're probably right. It's just rhetoric. And, you know, I'll ask you this, and I got to get out of here. What is the common thread among MAGA Republicans? What is the commonality, the common thread that brings them all together?
Racism? I don't know.
Go ahead and deal with your bad self. Go on, Dominique. Say it out loud. I'll talk to you later.
All right. It's always great to talk with you, Morris. I mean, I say racism because, you know, I think of many of those folks as being white supremacists or as Molly Bell would say, practicing the system of white supremacy. And, you know, people that say, oh, you're saying white people are superior, so you shouldn't say that. That's disingenuous. You know, that's not what anyone means when they say that. They're talking about a philosophy made up by people who proclaim themselves white that deems them better, superior to others. That's their philosophy. That's not the reality. And so that's why I say racism, that to me, although you have black MAGA folks and you have Latino MAGA folks and reportedly in growing numbers, you can be an adherent to the system of white supremacy and be not white. You're just practicing self-hate. You're practicing a tradition that works counter to your own best interest. But many white America First MAGA Confederates are also doing that. They're working against their own best interests and supporting a billionaire who claims to be a populist, who does nothing but help the rich, and they're not part of that rich group that's being helped, but yet they fall for the okie doke. Perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and we are unapologetically outspoken, unapologetically controversial, unapologetically black. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
So my home is also my office, and before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, services and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Here in Los Angeles, and really for people that watch progressive activism all across the country, especially those who celebrate liberation theology, were mourning the passing of Reverend Dr. Cecil Chip Murray, who made his transition Friday night here in Los Angeles in View Park neighborhood. He was 94 years old and a life very well lived. The mayor made a statement, fittingly so, Mayor Karen Bass, saying, "We lost a giant," that Reverend Cecil Murray dedicated his life to service, community, and putting God first in all things. If you're not from LA, you may not realize what a giant exactly this man was. He led a church and turned First AME into arguably one of the top churches in LA, but even beyond the massive congregation that he built up, there was a commitment to community, helping to create affordable housing, literally thousands of units, helping folks to get loans and jobs, and creating a hub for the community that reached, the community coming into the church, but the church also coming out into the community. Of course, as the LA Times notes, Presidents Bush and Clinton visited First AME Church, and Governors Wilson, Davis, and Schwarzenegger all spoke at that church. But for those of us who, watched the work of Murray, it was beyond religion into a real, into what we pray that all of us can do, which is leave people better off in LA, better off in our community than we found them. He encouraged folks to be connected to their community. They had a community development corporation and went out and transformed buildings into affordable housing. They did job training. They did AIDS programs and programs for reentry for former prisoners. They had all kinds of community-based programs. And of course, during this civil unrest of 1992, his church played a pivotal role, First AME Church, not just as the papers, as the Washington Post said, calming people, but also acting as a hub for activism and for solutions that went beyond taking it to the streets, and turned those protests into policies and actual projects in the community. So rest in peace, Reverend Cecil Murray. We are talking all things, all your paperwork. Get your money right. That's what we're doing on this eclipse. That's next.
Of assaulting and harassing his ex-girlfriend. He faces up to a year